Well, very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the news at 1 p.m. here on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. I am Charity Jerome. Here are the news headlines. House of Representatives to pass electoral bill today. NAFDAC approves Moderna and Sputnik COVID-19 vaccines for use. On the foreign scene, Ethiopia's Amhara region vows new attacks on Tigray. And in sports, Lionel Messi agrees contract extension with 50% pay cut. Details of these and more coming shortly. The House of Representatives is to pass a bill to the... I beg your pardon. The House of Representatives bill on amendment of the Electoral Act 2010 is to be passed today, barring any last-minute change in plan. The Committee on Electoral Matters laid its report on Electoral Act 2010 Amendment Bill at plenary yesterday. Chairman of the committee, Aisha Duku, praised the House to receive the report on a bill for an act to repeal the Electoral Act No. 6, 2010 and enact the Electoral Act 2021 to regulate the conduct of federal, state and area councils in the Federal Capital Territory elections and for other related matters. The bill was referred to the committee on November 24, 2020. The Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, and Chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Benjamin Kalu, had separately stated that the bill would be passed before the National Assembly embarks on its 2-month annual recess, which begins today. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has urged the Standards Organization of Nigeria to design a strategy to regulate the use of old cylinders as well as enforce the withdrawal and replacement of expired gas cylinders from circulation. The House also mandated its Committee on Gas Resources to ensure implementation of the resolution and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. At plenary yesterday, Sergio Sokun had moved a motion titled Need to Replace the Expired Cooking Gas Cylinders in Nigeria, which the lawmakers unanimously adopted. According to Ogun, over 9 million Nigerians utilize liquefied petroleum gas for cooking, and 90% of the LPG cooking gas are contained in expired cylinders. The lawmaker also said the cylinders outlive their safety limits after 15 years, and most cylinders in Nigeria are over 30 years old, making them very dangerous for use. To electoral matters now, Senate President Ahmed Lawan has refuted allegations the Senate had introduced extraneous clauses into the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Lawan spoke following the laying of the report on the bill by the Chairman, Senate Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission, Senator Kabiru Gaya from Kano South at plenary. Key among the clauses said to have been surreptitiously introduced into the bill was the ban on electronic transmission of election results by INEC. He lamented that following the publication of his phone number and that of the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, on social media, he received over 900 short messages on his phone in one day. The Senate President insisted that those who have accused the Senate of inserting clauses into the bill either spoke out of ignorance or were simply mischievous and rabble-rousers.
There are various accusations, insinuations that the leadership of the Senate, sometimes leadership of the National Assembly, had tampered with the report of the committee on INEC of both chambers. Some of those accusing the leadership of the National Assembly are misinformed, innocent. Some are simply mischievous and rebel-rousers. This is the first time this report is laid here, and this report of the committee. This is the decision of the committee on INEC, and therefore whatever will be discussed or considered about the Electoral Act Amendment Bill will be on the basis of what has been presented to the Senate here. If anybody feels very strongly about anything, lobby distinguished senators to canvass for your position rather than blackmail leadership, because my telephone line and that of the Honorable Speaker were published. In one day I received over 900 SMS messages saying we have manipulated this. We didn't.
The Supreme Court until 2011 was generally
Meanwhile, human rights lawyer and a senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has said Nigeria would be in trouble if the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) is barred from transmitting election results electronically. 2 weeks ago, the National Assembly leadership blocked the electronic transmission of election results in Nigeria, an amendment that President Muhammadu Buhari also refused to sign into law after arguing that it would disrupt the conduct of the 2019 elections. But speaking during an interview, Falana cited Section 52 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill and the prohibition of the electronic transmission of election results, calling on Nigerians to demand that the proper thing be done. He also frowned at plans to prevent the announcement of election results declared by INEC under duress, asking the citizens to call on the representatives in the National Assembly not to sabotage the electoral process.
the Supreme Court until 2011 was generally took appeals from presidential election petition tribunal, but today, for the 36 states of the country, even the results of primary elections at local government levels are contested up to the Supreme Court. Today, the Supreme Court no longer has time to attend to other matters, and this is unjust, this is unfair, this is inequitable. There's no way you can set up the Supreme Court of any country that is supposed to be a policy court to deal with only election petitions throughout the year. It's unacceptable. And so people are suggesting that this time around, we must conduct good elections, we must conduct credible elections electronically, so that human interference and manipulation will be reduced to the barest minimum.
To other matters now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has launched an online app, Eagle Eye, designed to enable easy reporting of financial crimes by members of the public. Speaking at the event in Abuja, the chairman of the commission, Mr. Abdul Rashid Bawa, warned against false information that could mislead the agency in its investigations. He said the full wrath of the law would be brought to bear on purveyors of misleading information. Bawa described the app, the first by any law enforcement agency in Nigeria, as a product of ingenuity by a staff of the commission. He said informants wishing to provide verifiable tips and leads to aid its investigation are free to come under the whistleblower policy of the federal government.
From complementing the existing channels of reporting economic crimes, the unique advantage of this application is that it eliminates direct person-to-person interface in the reporting process and guarantee anonymity, which is an added incentive to effective whistleblowing. With the Eagle Eye, you have at your fingertips a device that will ultimately ensure that there is no hiding place for corrupt persons in Nigeria.
In other news, the Lagos State Police Command says it has arrested more suspects in connection with the killing of Usifu Ataga, the chief executive officer of Super TV. Commissioner of Police Hakim Odumosu said that the police have established a case of conspiracy and murder, and more suspects have been arrested. Mr. Odumosu, during a parade of suspects at the police command in Ikeja, however, did not disclose who the suspects are or how many of them have been arrested. According to him, an investigation is ongoing on the matter.
I just want to clear the mind of Charity Thomasis, who are insinuating negatively, based on whatever perceived perception they have, that we police want to spread out the carpet. Police is not spreading because of the carpet. We have made additional arrests after the Chidinma. Chidinma was the sole arrest that we made. And investigation is progressing. And because of that, now additional arrests have been made. It's good to say that if you want to sweep under the carpet, you won't go further to make your additional arrests. You won't go further to the commerce of other exhibits. So we are progressing. You don't give anybody ties in the police or the cell. So she's our suspect in a suspected murder case. And she's being treated as a suspect. But we have her in our suspect as in our custody as a suspect in the case of suspected murder.
To health matters now, the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control has approved Moderna and Sputnik COVID-19 vaccines for use in Nigeria. The DG of NAFDAC, Professor Moji Adeyeye, who announced this today at a news conference in Abuja, said both vaccines were approved for emergency use. She explained that although the Sputnik vaccine has not yet been approved by the World Health Organization, NAFDAC had carried out independent checks on the vaccine and found that the benefits outweigh the risks. Still on COVID-19, the management of the University of Lagos, UNILAG, has ordered students to vacate hostels on campus over fears of COVID-19. There were fears in the university community on Tuesday after a number of students contracted the disease, a development that led to the school management to convene an emergency Senate meeting yesterday. In a statement issued after the meeting, the Senate said the students who tested positive for the disease are being tested and contact tracing was already in place. You're listening to the news at 1 p.m. on Splash 105.5 FM. Still to come, Ethiopia's Amhara region vows new attacks on Tigray. And in sports, Lionel Messi agrees contract extension with 50% pay cut. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll bring you details of these and other stories. Stay with us. Well, thanks for staying with us on the news at 1 p.m. Turning to the foreign scene now, the authorities in Ethiopia's Amhara region say they will go on the offensive against forces from neighboring Tigray. The Tigrayan rebels have recaptured much of Tigray in recent weeks, with federal forces and their allies withdrawing from key areas. A spokesman for the Amhara regional government said patience had run out. Retired members of the security forces have been called up and volunteer militias asked to mobilize. Tigrayan forces are pushing towards territory seized by the Amhara earlier on in the civil war. Cuba has temporarily lifted import duties on food, medicine, and other essentials following recent unrest. As of next Monday, there will be no limit on such goods brought in by travelers until the end of the year. Thousands took to the streets on Sunday in protests over food and medicine shortages, price increases, and the government's handling of COVID-19. One demand they had was for people arriving in Cuba to bring in supplies without paying custom duties. Dozens have been arrested nationwide since the unrest began on Sunday. And now to some sports news. Lionel Messi has reached a verbal agreement on a 5-year contract extension at Barcelona, with his salary to be reduced by 50% on the terms of the new deal. The announcement is dependent on player departures that will allow Barca to fund the Argentina captain's wages. The six-time Ballon d'Or winner was officially a free agent as of July 1st after he failed to agree terms over a renewal before his previous Barcelona contract expired on June 30th. Barca are also looking at a swap deal involving forward Antoine Griezmann and Atletico Madrid midfielder Saúl Ñíguez, with the idea of reducing the pay wage bill. And just before we go, here's a quick recap of the major headlines. House of Representatives to pass electoral bill today. NAFDAC has approved Moderna and Sputnik COVID-19 vaccines for use. On the foreign scene, we told you that Ethiopia's Amhara region has vowed new attacks on Tigray. And in sports, Lionel Messi has agreed contract extension with 50% pay cut. For more details on the news, you can visit our website on www.splashfm1055.com. Now you can download Splash FM mobile app on iOS, BlackBerry World, and Google Play Store to listen live, get news updates, and opinion poll. You can also report an event live to us through the iReports feature. To download, simply go to any of the stores mentioned and search for Splash FM 105.5 and then click to download. We've now come to the end of the news on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station, and the best radio station in the southwest of the country. The news editor is Tunde Olawowo, assisted by Ayo Olubusi. I am Charity Jerome. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.